So bring out the song in me, crescendos past tragedy. Hey, Joy Chasers, it's Dr. Naima Johnston-Bush from The Refreshing Life with Naima, and I am here today with a haul video for my Etsy shop. As a lot of you know, one of the things that I love to do is research. I know that sounds like an odd pastime, but I love old things. I love vintage items, and I love to do research, and I love to go to flea markets and estate sales and garage sales and yard sales and thrift stores and find goodies and then resell them in my Etsy shop. And so I do a series, and I haven't been doing it as much because I've gotten into some other things that I enjoy just as much, like planning, but I've been doing a series since I've started selling in June of 2016. I think I've had 140 sales, and I've got my store up to 149 items, which is exciting. I'm trying to get up to about 200 items. It's between 200 and 400 items, and really trying to boost my sales. I average about 2 sales a week, which is probably average for the average Etsy seller. So I'm excited about what has been going on, but I have a haul video of items that I have scoured from across the crevices and deep dark places of Louisiana. It's not as much necessarily to pick from in terms of garage sales and thrift stores as it was when I lived in Jacksonville, but I'm making it work. So I have a haul, and I want to share with you some of the goodies that I found that are going to be going up for sale in my shop. Now, most of these items came from New Orleans. Woo-hoo, New Orleans. I was in New Orleans for a ministry engagement, and I was there for, well, I was in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Covington, and the West Bank, which is also New Orleans, for 4 days. And I got a chance to go to a thrift store and purchase some items. And then when I was here, I popped into our local Goodwill here in town and purchased some Christmas items. They had a lot of Christmas items they were just pulling out. So let me show you some of the things that I found. Now, one of the first things I found was this Monet. I didn't pin it back. This Monet Bird of Paradise, and it's a really large pin. I found this at a thrift store in New Orleans, and these are going for about anywhere between, I saw them from $19.99 to $29.99 online. I paid like $2 for it because people a lot of times don't know what they have. They don't know to look. And you know, I need my glasses, and I didn't have my glasses on. So when she pulled it out of the case to show it to me, all I saw was that it was stamped on the back. I didn't see what it was stamped on the back. But you know, most costume jewelry that is worth something is stamped. So it's Napier or, you know, Sarah Coventry or Monet. That stuff is stamped. And so I knew it was stamped. I just bought it sight unseen, and it wasn't until I got back home and I was able to look at it under my jewelry loop that I saw that it was Monet. I also found these other 2 pieces. I paid $2 for this piece. I don't know if I thought it was silver, but the light was really bad in the store. But now I'm thinking it might be a copper or a brass. It has these like brown stones in them. I don't know a lot about jewelry, so I'm gonna, I think, ask one of my friends. It opens that way. I have a friend who does a lot of jewelry, and I'm gonna ask her what her opinion is on them. It's not stamped anywhere. It might just be something that, you know, from 2 years ago. I don't know, but it looked old to me, the way the clasp was, but it's not stamped or anything. The way the stones were set, it looked old to me, and it wasn't missing any stones, so I grabbed it. The other thing that I found that I think was a dud, I paid also like $2 for, and it was this little bracelet, And it's elastic, and I knew it was elastic when I bought it, and that's not necessarily why I think it was a dud. I mean, lots of stuff from the 70s could be plastic. I mean, it's really tight. But when I got it out and I looked at it under the loop, I don't think these are any kind of real stones. As a matter of fact, I think they might be plastic. And the way they have been set inside, I don't think that that's a vintage setting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it, but if it turns out to be worth something, well, then I'll know what I'm gonna charge for it. But like I said, I paid $2 for this, and I paid $2.99 for this. And so depending upon what my research bears out, I'm hoping that I can get at least, $29 for that. So all of that came from New Orleans. What also came from New Orleans was it's so funny because I always see people with these little, like, I don't know what you call them, kitschy figurines. And I found this little sheep, and I was like, oh, it's so cute. And it's signed on the bottom. I can't quite make out, well, Ethan owned it because Ethan put his name on it right there. Thanks, Ethan. I can't quite read the writing, and it's because, I don't know why thrift stores do that. They write, these little things on it. I paid like $1 for it, but I thought it was so cute. And this is a bigger one. And you usually can get $14.99, $16.99. I just sold a Napco. I know this is not Napco because it ends with an NE, whatever it's stamped at the bottom, but the other two letters are under this black permanent marker, which I'll get off with a little Windex. Maybe I'll get Ethan's name off too. But this one is a bigger size, so I think I'll be able to get between $16.99 and $19.99. But I just sold a vintage Napco baby. It was about that big from 1950, and I sold that one for $14.99. So this one came from New Orleans as well. What else came from New Orleans? Of course, I had to grab this vintage New York City mini mug made by the King's Company in the 1980s. And I knew it was vintage because it had the World Trade Center on it. And many of you who watch my channel, you all know I am from New York City. And so born and raised, all my family is still there. I go there quite often, even though I live in Louisiana. So these are very iconic, but also very personal monuments, or sites to me. These are things that people come to town to see. These are things that I saw every day growing up. Statue of Liberty, the World Trade Center. And then maybe not every day, but I saw a lot because I went to school in Manhattan, even though I lived in the Bronx. And it's real vibrant. It just says New York, New York. And it's a mini mug. It's not a very big mug. Maybe like an espresso size mug. But it makes me happy. Home makes me happy because that's where people I love are. And what else did I find? I found this. This was 99 cents. I still have the sticker on it. I don't know if it's an ashtray. I think it's an ashtray, but it's crystal. It's paid 99 cents for it. That always makes me happy. But I think it's so pretty and it's so interesting. It's crystal, glass, lead cut. Probably. I don't know the era or the year. It's hard when things look like this to find. It doesn't have any markings on it, but to kind of like date stuff like this. So if you all have any information about this, then feel free to let me know. My biggest thing, I've been asking the Lord. I was like, Lord, help me to find like some old toys. I want to find some old toys. And I was with somebody who was shopping as well, but she wasn't shopping to resell, and she found this Slinky dog it probably was from the 70s. And it was $1. She's like, look what I found. Oh, I'm gonna give this to some kid. And I was like, oh my gosh. And needless to say, she bought it because I was waiting to see if she'd put it back, because if she'd have put it back, I'd have picked it up. And then I got two more things while I was in New Orleans. This is a real find, this little picture. It's not very, very big. And I picked it up, and when I picked it up, I couldn't see. There was a tag on the bottom. So I really couldn't see anything I couldn't really see. I'm over here like this, talking like y'all can't see. I picked it up and all I could see was like this stall. I couldn't see anything else. And so I was like, I bet you that's something good. I don't know what it is. Come to find out, this little picture that I paid 99 cents for at this thrift store, it wasn't a Goodwill, it was like a real thrift store in New Orleans, is a Wedgwood piece. So this is Wedgwood Tunstall, and these pictures go anywhere from $9.99. They had like one or two, but they were tiny. They were much smaller than this. Hundreds of dollars. I think the most expensive one I saw was like $150. And so I think I'm gonna put it up for $24.99 and see how it does. I might start at $29.99. I've been experimenting a little bit with my numbers because people always tell me I underprice my items. But you know, my philosophy is to move it. It's not just to keep it and hope I get a better price. It's to move it, get it out. So that was exciting. That was probably my best find, this Wedgwood piece of china with the pretty little hand-painted, you know, little flowers. I don't know what they are. They're not roses. Oh no. So I was geeked. And then the last thing I got, I wouldn't have bought had I known what it was. It was this little bird. As you can see, it's in two parts. And it was taped together. And it was taped together, so I just assumed it was a trinket box. And I did the research. It's from 1989. It was made in Taiwan. It's made by the Prestige Company. And when I looked it up, I found this exact bird that I have. And it said candle holder. I was like, ugh. So I went and opened it up, and sure enough, there's a candle in it. Now, it doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna take a little cloth and wipe it out because I don't think it's ever been used. The wick doesn't look like it's been used at all. So I'm gonna take a little cloth and wipe it out, but I usually don't like to sell candles. It doesn't smell like anything. Like that. Okay, so of course my husband called me. He's playing Incredible. I don't know what Incredible is. He plays in the church league. I think it's really like t-ball for adults because it's not really softball. It's not baseball. They call it Incredible. I don't know what it is, but he's excited because he tagged two people out. He had to tell me all about it. He's so cute. But anyway, so yeah, these are selling online for about, I paid 99 cents for this, and these are selling between $9.99 and I think I saw it for $16.99. So I'll probably price it at $14.99. I didn't see any like this on Etsy. And so I will continue to build my Etsy empire and put that up as soon as possible. So that's what I got from my trip to New Orleans. I would have hit a lot more thrift stores, but I had a hostess. And so I didn't want to be rude and be like, well, I'll check you later. I got thrift stores to visit. So that's what I got. But I'm headed up to Nashville in a couple weeks, so I definitely be hitting the thrift stores up there. I usually set, you know, about $20. Hey, doggone it, rats. Man. Of course, you know, I don't think this was broken like this when I bought it. That doggone boy. I went to the Goodwill, and the guy acted like he did not want to wrap my stuff. And now it's broken down here in the corner. And I don't know if it was broken before. I don't think it was. I mean, you can't really tell when you set it down, but I know it was broken. And so this is a Charmex Holiday Village from 1988. These are selling online for like $37. I was only going to charge $29 for it because it didn't have, and I paid $2.99 for it. It used to light up at one point, and it doesn't. I don't know where the light piece is, but I know it used to light up because there's a hole on the bottom, and here's a place where the plug came out. So I was gonna sell it for $29.99, but now I see it's broken. So I'm gonna put it up and say there's a chip there that you can hardly notice. You can disguise it with some snow. Maybe I'll dress it up. I've never done like dressed up pictures. And clean it up some. And if you put some fairy lights in it, you can still, or some Christmas lights in it, you can still light it up. So now I guess I'll sell it for $19.99. I'll put it at $19.99. There are not very many of these online, so maybe someone will buy it. And worst case scenario, if nobody buys it, I will clean it up and put it in my own little, I have a little spread that I put out for Christmas with houses. Well, it doesn't have a lot of houses. It has like a little church and some little people singing, little black people singing from Hallmark. Because I can't find any little black people. You know, like in Walmart, they have those house scenes. I can never find no little black people. And I just would like some people, like brown people that look like me. Not that it matters, but it does matter. Because sometimes you want things, you know, that look like you. So that's a bummer. But I think that boy broke it. Because, you know, I always have to have a story. He threw all my stuff in a bag. And I said, you need to wrap that up, dude. I was a lot nicer because, you know, I was trying to show the Jesus in me. And he looked like, you know, I was giving him a problem. So he wrapped one piece in one piece of newspaper and put it in the bag, and then tried to put this in the bag. I said, no, you need to wrap each piece and put it in a separate. And then I said, give the paper here. I'll do it myself. And I did, because, see, now I got a little broken piece. And I should take it back, but they ain't going to do nothing. Anywho, I found also at the Goodwill this crazy looking mouse. And he sits on the shelf, like Elf on the shelf, but he's a mouse on the shelf. I can't find anything like it anywhere. Look, that's his tail. I don't know why his tail is white. I guess because he got on stockings. But he sits on the shelf because there's his bookie. So he sits like that on the shelf. He's a Christmas mouse. And they had a little Christmas girl, but she was all broke up. And I didn't want that. So he was $3.99, which is a little bit more than I usually pay for stuff. But I thought he was cute. And like I said, I love Christmas. I love to decorate for Christmas. And so if nobody buys him, I'll put him up. So I think I'm going to put him up for $19.99. He is vintage. He's marked 1984. And we'll see. $2.99. Yeah. I paid $3.99. Maybe I'll put him up for $24.99. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, and he's big. You know, he's not a little mouse. So I got that. And what else did I get? I didn't get a lot from the Goodwill here. I've been finding at the Goodwill here, every time I go in there, they have a new one. These 101 McDonald's, they're 101 Dalmatians. They were movie toys from 101 Dalmatians when the movie was coming out. And they're these snowman globes. And this one is called Snowman's Best Friend, and they got little Dalmatians in there. I don't know if you can see, but this is the second one I found. I found another one, and had I found them at the same time, I would have listed them together. But I'll go ahead and I'm going to list this at $9.99. I paid $2 for it, and they're cute. But like I said, these aren't even opened. So I think I charged $12.99 because it wasn't open. I mean, it's still in the box. So whoever had them just had them and never did anything with them. So maybe I'll charge $12.99 for that. And they're going for sale online anywhere from $6 to about $19.99. But the ones that are $19.99 is usually two together. And the ones that are $6 are opened and they don't have all the pieces. So I think that's a fair price. And then if you catch it on sale, like everything in my shop this week, it won't be when you all see this video, but everything in my shop this week is 25% off. So this is going for $9.74 right now. And then the last thing that I found that I was so excited about, because I really was like, if nobody buys it, I certainly will use it. I paid $2.99 for them. I cannot figure out what year they're from, but they were on replacement.com. And they have to be old because of the way the box looks. I mean, the box just looks old. And Winter Folly, Snowman, Flutes, Crystal, and Resin. They were $34 originally. They're Lennox Gorman since 1831. Fine. Each Winter Folly piece is delicately crafted of colorful and quality crystal. A unique product is created with each hand-painted detail. Therefore, no two pieces are exactly alike. But they're so cute. Look at that. They don't have any cuts, breaks, scratches. They were in the box, the original box. They were $2.99. And I'm going to sell them for $29.99. I just think those are the cutest things. And like I said, if nobody buys them, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some mini Christmas bulbs and put them in there and set them up here in the house. So that's my haul, and I'm sticking to it. So I think I did pretty good. I mean, I'm trying to buy smalls, things that are smaller and not things that are very, very big. Because if you want to have a lot of stuff, you can't be buying big stuff because it takes up a lot of room. So now what I will do is what I do at this point is I stack it all, right? And then I take pictures of everything. Then I edit the pictures, and then I post usually 2 new items a day. So I will put the link below to my shop. If you saw something you were interested in, feel free to shoot me a message. I might be gone, but I'll put also in the bottom of the description my shop link. It's Miss Seals, C-I-L-L-E-S. It's named after my mother, Lucille. Miss Seals Good Gifts by Naima. I think at Etsy it's just Miss Seals Gifts. So that's the store name. So if you saw something you liked, grab it before it's gone. Or it's set up in my house for Christmas. So that be the dealio, y'all. The next video that I do, I'm going to try to do like an overview of my sales for the year so you can kind of see what I've purchased. Unfortunately, I kind of lost some momentum when we moved from Jacksonville. I had closed the shop for over a month, and then just wasn't able to really keep up, and then I had to find new thrift stores, and everything here is a adventure. You know, you can't, like in Jacksonville on Wednesdays I would just go to the church, you know, 2 blocks up, because their thrift store was open and they always had good stuff. Here, you know, there's the Goodwill, there's a thrift store that's never open, and then I have to go into DeRidder, which is 18 miles from here, to go to the other thrift stores. So my next shopping event will be in will be in Nashville when I go to Nashville in a couple weeks. And that'll probably be the last thing that I do until after the first of the year. And then I'll have to restock because Christmas is always such a busy time. And so that is the deal. So thanks for hanging out with me and seeing what I got for my haul. All these items will soon be available in my shop. Come hang out with me and learn what I learn. I'll be glad to share everything that I'm learning. If you have any questions, hit me up. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I talk about vintage items, music, ministry, marriage, planning, health and wellness, and of course, I'm always singing. So feel free to subscribe, hang out with me in the hubs as we travel across the nation, building the kingdom of the Lord, and in our spare time, building my Etsy empire. Not that you're really building an empire with 2 sales a week, but yeah. Hey, could be worse. All right, love you guys. Bye-bye.